This is too much, yes? Hmm? Hi, can you hear me? No, joke. Can you hear me? Okay. Now, so we studied two powers. The power of the sport, the power of the regretting. Now is the power of resolutions. Like resolution means in the futures to stop any kind of negative or misdeed or like a kind of evil actions. The power of the resolution means to remember the faults you have committed and to resolve never to commit them again. From this very day on, even at the cost of your dear lives. This is like kind of the deeply, honestly, sincerely confession. It is really powerful. You like kind of the moment doing the negative things and remember you want to stop, or you all the times to carrying mindfulness, I never do again. Like kind of the preserve into your mind to says, I never do again any kind of negative deeds. This sometimes we need to, need examples. We say it's like, oh, if I'm doing some actions, how these consequences can occur in the future. And sometimes even we look at the films, like someone is doing the negative, ugly things. They're like lost, they're like kind of some hero, like kind of the principal actors become the very important because he doing positive things, but of course in our worldly to kill the evil persons. Then evil actors doing some negative things, we are very kind of angry. Yeah, look, this all the time is doing it. Then finally someone's coming to kill. That's right, because it's like he did something. So we in the heart difficult to believe, but we saying in the watching the film, we say, that is the like need the consequence because he or she did something negative things. And also it's like this kind of the worldly we can to see each laws, rules. If you did something against it, then you have kind of punishment. First action, then is the result. Exactly like this. Here is like kind of the like natural causalities, and also it's like created causalities, like these two things. natural causalities, and like we did some negative or positive things, then it's naturally, automatically, someone's you don't need to arrange that this is like kind of punishment. It's like in the Buddhist perspective, most times we don't believe that someone's to punish it to us, to something. It's like, and if we do all the time positive, there's all the consequence of ending is 100% surely happiness. We all the times doing the negative things. Who can to help? Even the Buddha medicine mothers dying, and mother said, it's like, you are Buddha medicine, can you help me? Say, Mom, I told you before, you should to do something. How I can to help now, right now? Say, like this, it is like kind of happiness and sorrows, and this is like kind of someone's to grant to us, or bestow to us, or to give to us. That is almost impossible. And it's very, very much, it depends on our own self. We do, of course, positive things, 100% there is. And that is like, how do you say, is the realities. And the causality is inconceivable things. For example, some causalities is a result, the effect is immediately. Someone is take a long time, and sometimes is ripened, maturated in the middle step. And that is like we can to look in our own realities. For instance, someone's doing all the times negative things, but there are looks like happy, there looks like it's okay. Yes, this kind of, sometimes it's like, it's take time. This we say is like, you're doing negative, kind of happy, ending is the sufferings. And maybe someone's doing the positive things. Maybe it's as much as you do positive things. Generate bodhicitta, recite the VAJRASATTVA, and just to like do some positive things. Sometimes you need to go under the many hardships. Maybe you are like kind of the very hard, uncomfortable, but ending is the happiness. Like we can to say is you go to the retreat, sometimes in the solitude place, cold, problem, lot of. You go to and this kind of through the hardship, ascetic way, but finally you reach enlightenment, forever happiness. And like maybe for you is sometimes to be the robbery and the rob on the bank, and drink, take drug, doing looks like happy, but maybe the ending is the sufferings. This sort of something is like kind of someone is like this life all the time need to do the negative things, according to these negatives, next times all the times reborn or lower animals doing negative sufferings and life and life sufferings. And someone is this life very comfortable, doing positive things, and also next life also is happiness. This kind of different like causalities. And therefore, and whatever we done, there is the inevitable that's coming. And this is, we understood that, then says, oh, in the future, my resolution, negative actions, 100%, I will determinedly to close, never do again. That is, I think, is a very powerful resolution. It's like kind of the great purification. Power of the resolution means to the remember the faults you have committed. You remembered and also maybe we can to remember like kind of the consequence. Like for example, it's like kind of we say we drink maybe too much, and it's understand it's negative. Maybe surely during the like periods the drink time or during the drink you found you are kind of, but maybe inside if I'm doing too much like kind of I will something surely, but I love right now I drink. You drink, and then is the consequence. Maybe you have big kind of problems, liver, or maybe become alcoholic, lost, maybe according after you drink, you done some ugly things. And then it's like kind of you remember that faults. And this is the big faults. I understand. And that is I have committed. Now I understand this faults and understand now result. In the futures, I never drink again. That is you realize it, you never drink. Then it's like first time to recognize what we done, our faults, things, negative. And also maybe also we have experienced it, some committed result. And this is like kind of to understand, then it's like maybe easily to have the powerful of the resolutions. And then it's like to resolve never to commit them again, never. From this day once, just this moment. And in this moment, even at the cost of my dear life, my life, I don't want to do some false commitment or the like kind of the misted negative things. I don't want it. And also here is like quotations comes from the Sutta of the Three Hips. And it says like recited, I vow to stop from now on. And this is like kind of now it's like a kind of I stopped it, vow to stop. I vow, like kind of take a vow to stop any kind of the false actions and negative actions from right now on in the futures. And that is my like kind of the powerful resolutions. And also it's like that prayers of the Skaviti, Sukhavati, this Sukhavati, that's Sanskrit, in Devachemalam, Sukhavati. And also it says, without a vow for the future from now on, there is no purifications. So I make the vow for the future from now on, that even at the cost of my life, I will do no negative actions. That's right. That is very easily to understand. Without vows, if I don't take vows, if I don't commit myself, then it's like a future. Future means it's like in the future I don't do against it. Then there's the purification it doesn't functionality. It doesn't work. It's not purification. So, and according like this, I understand I take the vow now, and in the future, from this moment on, I never ever do again like this, taking vows. That even at the cost of my life, I will do not negative actions. If that is the great power of the resolution, this is third, the resolution. It is very important to have. And then fourth one is the power of the action as the antidote. And of course, that is like kind of each negative actions, there is like kind of the antidote. For example, if you are killing things, to immediately to understand, then it's like to take negative killings, it is negative actions. And this result is absolutely like kind of the awful things. Short life, lot of sickness, lot of problem, this sort of. And therefore, like any kind of in the future, some negatives can occur, immediately to remember the antidote or remember the like kind of negative consequence may be very important. When we are like kind of someone says, would you like to take drug? Maybe you says, firstly, why not? But secondarily, maybe you rely on the apply your antidote. The consequence is not good. Maybe I will become, maybe lost my life. Maybe I become very strange. Why I doing myself is bad things. You kind of thinking the consequence, present moment pleasure, you are not kind of the attack you, not kind of the destroyed to you. And like the moment, in the present moment, you kind of go under your desire, under the kind of the negative emotion, you don't think about the consequence, then we have doing a lot of stupid things. This is true. But it's like apply the mindfulness to understand the negative consequence. That is the antidote. For example, if we can to say, maybe it's like some in your families is turmoil coming, maybe argumentation, lot of anger and hesitate is coming. You immediately to apply the antidote. Oh, everybody is impermanent. And also today we are alive. Why we are fighting? Why we are doing like this? Maybe tomorrow, we don't know. Someone's died, someone's left. Maybe like this. Today at this moment to practice patience, just a few minutes, just a few hours. And then tomorrow's result is fantastic. That is antidote. You just to practice a little bit patience, then you don't need to do some negative things. Exactly like this, according to our disturbing emotions, by anger, by desire, by grasping, by the demandings, and by the like kind of the touch, these things, then we are doing some negative things. Immediately to apply the mindfulness to remember this consequence, then your mind is become more calm and more reasonable. That is the part of the enlightened things. You controlling to yourself. Then it's like you apply the antidote. This is a great, powerful. You never doing kind of the negative again, and also same times you are purified. Therefore, we call the antidote. This power is involved on completion as many positive actions. And whatever I mean is like here is like any positive actions. Generate bodhicitta, taking refuge, recite meditation, meditate. Maybe it's meditations in the like kind of the to study, recite the suttas. All this kind of any kind of positive actions, it is an antidote for the negative activities. As you can, whatever you can, the positive things, this sort of, for example, recitation, mental, meditation in the Vajrasattvas, generate bodhicitta, take refuge like 3 jewels. All this sort of thing are the kind of the antidote for the negative actions. As much as you can, as an antidote to your past negative actions. All the positive things is like, there are many different positive things. Even you are recite the single Vajrasattvas mantra, 100 sleep mantra or the 6 sleep mantras, it doesn't matter. like a kind of the movement of the mouth. Mantra is a combination of the different element, and this is like representative of the speech. And when you are recite this sound, and this like kind of the movement of the mouth affect to the mind, affect to the bodies, such a kind of the purifications. That is the also a lot of positive actions. Mentally you are meditating on the Vajrasattva or any deities, or like kind of the any practice karma budding or the vipassanams, positive thing. That is also antidote for the negative actions. And also it's like there's a different, you are the yogi of the deities, and different like follow up the sadhana. Also those are the positive actions in order to antidote for the negative, and this because it's the purification. And like this, all the positive action is the antidote on the past negative actions. And also it's specialist. Here is the refer particularly to activities such as the prostrating to the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas. Maybe here is like more connect to the 7 lines of the offerings. And it is like kind of the 7 state. It is like kind of the first station and offerings, and
действие как? Простирание.
What was? Okay. This like kind of we have like normally 7 branches of the offerings, and those are according here to say that first prostrating to the Bodhisattva and Buddha and Bodhisattvas. It is positive, and also it is the antidote for our negative actions, particularly the arrogant, proud, and also it's like kind of the prostrations, purification of the body related to the mind. Sometimes you recite the Vajrasattva mantra, also purification of the speech. Rejoicing in the merit of the others. This is very, very important, rejoicing. Someone is like recite the mantra, or someone's follow up the Dharma to study, realize the two natural realities, doing some positive things. Maybe you haven't got any jealousies. Instead of the jealousy, you have great rejoice. Which maybe I can't do it, but someone's doing. I'm very thankful. Please do continue. Maybe it's like I'm like difficult to put effort to be enlightenment. Maybe someone's be enlightenment. You need to rejoice. Thanks for that. If you be enlightenment, then you can to help our family of the sentient beings. Wonderful. Like this, generally, normally, even our families, someone's to study, someone's a little understand Dharma, then you have competition, jealous, as angry. Like, of course, it's externally, but inner, even your families, how much we have kind of the rivalry and competitions. This kind of never. And someone's doing the positive things, you have such a rejoice, and someone's doing such meritorious, and that is also you have rejoicing, and then it's really is kind of the great positive action. It's an antidote for the negative actions. In the Sukhavati prayers also to says, if someone's doing the other virtues, if you are rejoicing, or even if you are rejoiced, and also it's like these virtues also maturate to you on you. Like according to rejoice, even someone's doing powerful virtual things. If you rejoice, you so also to get these virtues. Like this. And you are like kind of abandoned and jealousy and like kind of the aggressions and such. To have rejoicing is wonderful, and even the others who doing virtues can maturate to in us according the rejoice. And dedicating the source of the future good or enlightenment. And that is also is like a kind of a antidote. It's a great virtues, positive actions. Whatever you are doing, the positive things is very important. Dedicate. And this is the source of the future, your good and happiness. And of course, that is the like a source of for your enlightenment. And therefore, dedicating is a very important. Dedication, that means it's like, and I done some study Dharma, listen to Dharma, meditate on Dharma, or maybe it's like I prostrated, I rejoiced. Whatever I done positive things, I'm fully, utterly dedicated, means to give benefit for sentient beings. And may these virtues making the brain happiness for other sentient beings. If you use like saying or thinking like this, that is the dedication. You're doing the virtual things is become the multiply. The virtue is like become more beneficial, more like kind of the profundities. And that is the dedicating. You're like the source of future good. Very important. You do positive things is for your future good. And some maybe people think is a future good. I need good present moment. I haven't got present moment good. Then in the future I don't know. So this in the present moment, in the past future. Do you understand? Past future in the present moment. In the past we done very stupid things. Then in the present we have ugly situation. It's a truth. And that is the necessary to think. Sometimes we say future good. I don't know. I need to like the moment, at the moment, like good things. To have good food, to have good alcohol, to have good entertainment, to have good. If we need good, how we are like the create the source cause. We don't do all the times good things. We're doing all the times negative things. The consequence is the negative. Then we are crying, help me, please, Buddha, God. But Buddha, God looks like hurting. It doesn't work at that moment. And sometimes like Buddhist like practitioner says like, I don't know, I practice more, I have more problems. Maybe Buddha and Bodhisattvas punished to me. Buddha, Bodhisattvas never ever punished to you. But it's like kind of, we do the negative things. How we have like good things? Buddha, he said this, I give you methods for future your good. Please to use these methods, create future your good. Like he is say the confessing, stop the negative actions, create more positive actions. These things is he's saying give method. How I can to help say. Buddha he very much clearly to says, I cannot to take your sufferings by my hand. I cannot wash your obscurations by water. You need to move yourself. You need to do. It's true. Sometimes we think in the present moment, right now, present moment, I don't know, but in the moment, I need good things. I don't know in the future. Or I have problem, this, then it's like we. But on the past, we done such different ugly things. and then the consequences coming, and then it's like we are complaining and to the maybe Buddha and the Bodhisattvas. Someone is like kind of the doing such different negative things, then it's a big kind of problems. Then they complain, oh, this is maybe Buddha. It doesn't work. And someone says, I have problems now. I meditate immediately, Buddha, can you take away? I'm like kind of problems. I'm meditating emptiness. That doesn't work. And I pray the root teacher. It doesn't work. Everything is there, doesn't work. Then we need to give up. 100% give up. Many in the European Buddhists, they give up. Because sometimes when we look at our Buddhist people, so very much they want to like kind of supernatural power. What does it mean, supernatural powers? I need to like kind of something to understand others' mind. If I'm hearing others say something far from, I'm wonderful. If I see something, maybe I have something supernatural power, maybe I will become the famous. I will become many like student. This is like kind of the not very good for the future good is. Really, we can look at the really great practitioners, never ever like this. Future good, maybe is thinking of the sentient beings. Future good, I never ever ever to do again, never do again negative things. That is the really best. Through this positive practice, through these positive actions, maybe you got some supernatural power, like incontaminated supernatural power, extraordinary supernatural power, pure supernatural power. Then you kind of through the like magic illusions, magicians. And these days, a lot of magics, like some substantials, some is like kind of tricky way things you can to make magics. This magic is not good for futures, and nobody's believe to you. This is kind of the someone say, very fantastic magician said, but this magician is not very good. Like this supernatural kind of normal supernatural, this kind of the like contaminated supernatural. Just one moment one moment is finished. For example, in like Tibet, we have some fortune tellers. Fortune tellers, they telling to the others, oh, you shouldn't do like this, you should do like this. Maybe you take care of them in the future, you are going to happen like this. But sometimes they result disaster things, but they don't know. They say, then they says, you are telling to the like fortunes for the future others. Then what happened yourself? Said, I don't know. Said, they are using some symbolic things, card or something. Then they analyze, oh, maybe you will something. Like this kind of, not necessarily in the future good means do the positive things, very important. If we want to have good for the moment, we need. Therefore, he said, for the good, dedicate for the good future, enlightenment. Cultivate to the bodhicitta of the intention and the applications. Cultivate to generate each moment, very, very important. Each moment, sometimes when you're alone, maybe you receive delicious food, nice drink, and comfortable chair, and also it's like surround you, so very nice. At that moment, probably you can to generate bodhicitta very easily. But this bodhicitta is not really profundities. Bodhicitta is like kind of the, maybe you have some, maybe sometimes very difficult situations. Maybe like some is like desperate sentient beings to falling into the front of you. Ask to you, give me something. Putty, this person, this guy, this kind of the beings, what happened? You kind of can avoid. And maybe someone's like desperate to cry to you, shouting to you. Maybe it's something doing things, Maybe it's like you forgot it's difficult to cultivate bodhicitta. And you like kind of maybe someone says a little bit like a harsh word. I keep that, how I can to revenge. Or I like kind of angry this person. I never forget it. All the times carry in the anger face. And more cultivate anger is not very good. Here is we need to cultivate bodhicitta. Someone is interrupt, someone's disturbed to you, then we need to cultivate bodhicitta. Intention means it's like, may all those beings to become happy and free from the sufferings. Application bodhicitta is each moment to do something benefit for the others. This kind of is a virtue, antidote for the negative actions. And stay in the essence of the ultimate nature, a natural state. That is the wonderful things. And it's a very important to concerning this sort of. It's like kind of to staying in the essence of the unaltered natural state, unaltered natural state. And this is like kind of the realities. And sometimes we call the natural state, and sometimes dharma datta, sometimes thazness. There are many different type of the names. This is like kind of our nature of the reality. This is very, very important to as much as you can maintain and that state, like your mind is to maintain the essence of the unaltered natural, like kind of state, like a kind of the unaltered means it's like nothing kind of corrected, not any kind of exaggerations. Your kind of the state of the natural essence. You don't need to say existent, not existent, both, neither something. Or virtue, non-virtue, samsara, non-samsaras. And this is like kind of, any kind of, there's no existence of the elaboration or explanations. And that is like an unaltered or like kind of the, not kind of contaminated or like kind of the any exaggerations. That is the natural state. And also it's why you call the natural state, natural state. And causeless, because of this is causeless, therefore we call the natural. No conditions, therefore we call the natural. Nobody is created, therefore this is naturals. This is not depends any others, therefore we call the natural. And this natural state is the essence, nature of our minds. That is not externally, inside. If you need to receive properly, correctly in the aura instruction from your peerless teacher, then you need to meditate on it. Very important, most crucial point. This is nature of the VAJRASATTVA. This is nature of the bodhicitta. This is nature of the wisdoms. This is the embodiment of all the deities, Buddha, past, present, futures. This is your nature of unaltered or the like kind of unaltered, the natural state. It is like a kind of the true state, true nature of the realities. And this is like kind of the absolute space you can to say that your mind. That is that maybe also like once you received, properly to received, maybe like first timers, you need to analyze like your situation according to the 4 reminders. Human existence, impermanent causality, defects of the samsaras. and then it's purified your your mind and body speech streams, or the mind streams, through the inner preliminary practice, refugee, bodhicitta, vajrasattva, and guru yogas. And then after there is you practice some and the separation of the samsara and nirvanas. And then it's you understand how you can to really is to deviation of the samsara and nirvana, how you can to apply in order to practice this natural state. Then of course you go to the peerless, your own teachers. Then you ask to introduction of your inner, your Buddha nature, inner your the pure or the spontaneous pure present, and it's inner your the spontaneous the pure essence. That is you need to ask some your peerless teachers. Maybe peerless teachers, this teacher itself has extraordinary experience, worked with his own or her own to nature this the pure essence, and also ready realization of that to have. Then you ask, then you can to receive correctly. Then afterwards, then maybe as much as you can to maintain on that state is very important. That is of course best positive, best antidote for the negative action. And this the antidote for the negative actions, and can purify millions, trillions, any of rough or subtle obscurations, can the one moment can purify it. And this essence of the unaltered natural state arising or the shining or radiated into your mind is looks like in the morning blue sky and sunlight is coming. And maybe it's the millions, maybe your mind is the full of the darkness and it's difficult to have luminosity. But one moment you're the great sun, and the radiation of this natural state is coming to permeate the luminosities, the everything's clearly. That is we call the awakened and the the mind. Therefore, to meditate on that moment, all the obscuration of the darkness is disappeared. Therefore, natural state is very important. This is also antidote. One day a meditated, a disciple of the peerless Tahu Rinpoche. Tahu Rinpoche is the student of just Milarepa. And I think Milarepa student, Tahu Rinpoche, or the Gombopa student, I don't know. And it's the meditated disciple of the peerless Tahu Rinpoche, told his teacher that he felt regret when he remembered that he had once made his living from the sale of the secret books, and what he did. And long times ago, he sold some is secret book, he made dharma business, that means. And he received from this a benefit of profit, and he ate it. He didn't do any virtues. That he was so the regret from the sale of the secret books. And then he asked to the Tapu Rinpoche, what can I do? I have such regret, I confess. And then is Tapu Rinpoche's reply, it says, punching book then, the masters taught to him to read again to punching these books. And so he set to work, but found that his work got him involved in any distractions. Disillusioned, he went back to see his teacher, Peerless Tapu Rinpoche. During his the punching book, and also he has a lot of involvement, destruction mind, of course, distracted. And maybe if I'm do like this, maybe I will something different. Of course, it's like worldly concerning things. Also, a lot of the disillusions can curse. And that time, then it's like he's very much regret. During this punting times, should to have positive thoughts, but some there's destruction and dissolution minds, negative. Maybe it doesn't purify my negative action result of the dharma business. Maybe I will ask to against. And then he went to the teacher, says, punting this text at punting up to many destructions. When I are punting times, during times, a lot of destruction, that means negatives can occur. He said, it is not true that no method of the confession is more profound than remain in the essential nature. And then it's like the student says, like when I the text pointing up, a lot of distractions can occur. And instead punting this book or doing this book, what do you think, peerless teachers? In order to confess my this negative actions result, obscurations, methods, confession is more profound than remain in the essential nature of my own. This is asked to the peerless teacher. Of course, Tapu Rinpoche was delighted and told him that was perfectly right. He says that's right, you are correct. Instead of doing that printing up, you maintain the perfectly meditate on the natural state. That is the best purification. And how it is the purified when you are meditate on natural state. Even if you have committed negative actions, as a coloss as the mountains, mountain mirror itself. And this kind of a lot collect or the the colossal as the size of the mountain mirror itself. He said, they are the purified in the one instant of the sea that nature said. It is we can to say is in big house. Inside maybe there's no luminosities, and then it's very much dark inside, full of the darkness. But certainly maybe one luminosity is coming, and then all the darkness is disappeared. Purified darkness one instantly, on one instant. If this, we are maintain the natural state in our minds. Of course, if we shine or realize the natural state, our minds, and this instant, we can purify all the negative obscurations, and then the seeing is that to nature. Then that moment we call the awakened mind, this. Okay, maybe we can also stop 10 minutes. 10 minutes of coffee. Oh.